Colorado fans, I owe you an apology. Now, do I think that Colorado, Deion Sanders, the Buffs have everything put together? No. Do I think that this is a completely I used the word culture on last week's show, and a lot of that doesn't have to do with the chippy showboating. I mean, I watched this game in Colorado, like the one dude throws a punch, another guy. I don't care about that. I care more about the off the field, random tabloid stories that come out and, Deion Sanders said this and did this and was bad to this kid. And you know what? Honestly, I think a lot of you in the comment section were right. Those are cool tabloid stories. I wasn't there. I don't know. I don't have boots on the ground. And this is the kind of game that takes ultimate discipline to win. If you are undisciplined, if you have a rotten culture, if you do not have winning as the number one focus, you lose a game like this. And did Colorado deserve to win the game? Maybe not, but they did. They went and they won it. You're like, oh, of course they deserve to win the game. They won. Yeah, but they threw a Hail Mary. You know how many successful Hail Marys there are in college football? That's like one a year where the Buffalo Wild Wings guy presses the button. This was a miracle win for Colorado. But to get to that miracle, you got to stay in it. There was a point where I really believed the Buffs were done. Like you were looking at a 24-10 lead for the Bears in the second quarter. And it's like, I'm not sure if Colorado has the chops to stay in this. Not only did they, but they proved that they have two of the best players in the country. And Shadur Sanders, what I would love to know, and man, I really do believe Travis Hunter and Shadur Sanders are both good kids. So much hate constantly over Shadur Sanders. I don't get it. Wear a watch. Chirp. Personally, I would like the head coach to shake the other coach's hand after the game because we do that. Like we're all kind of human people, and that's just like a common courtesy. Or the quarterbacks to shake hands after the game. Like, yeah, you trash talked pregame because that's what people do in college football. Postgame, shake the guy's hand. Who cares? That's a moot point. That issue, I'm still like, okay, grow up. Shake the guy's hand. Who gives a rip? Shadur Sanders, if he had a competent offensive line, I mean, just an okay offensive line, how good could this Colorado team really be? It was absurd. 12 tackles for loss, 8 sacks from the Baylor defense. Every time that guy got the ball from the center, it was just breakdown. And it's not that, if you watch this game, he had a couple seconds to operate, but the Baylor secondary is pretty good. He needed his D-line, his O-line, to keep the D-line in check for just a little bit longer than usual. And the O-line said, no, we would rather not. Now, Shadur, 19 carries for 26 yards doesn't tell the story because in college football, when you take a sack, it takes away from your rushing yardage, and he took 8 sacks. Colorado's still 42 rushes, 42 carries, 91 yards. Not going to get it done. That's not, no. You've got to establish the run. 2.2 yards per carry is not going to get it done. But the 341 yards through the air, taking advantage of a Baylor defense that was on the field a ton in the second half, was great. And Travis Hunter, again, man, 7 receptions for 130 yards. 7 receptions for 130 yards. Then on defense, an absolute, he makes the play of the game. He forces the Baylor running back to fumble at the very end and gives it up. That's good. That's the makings. And the Colorado defense holding the Baylor quarterback to 11 for 21. As somebody who graduated from Baylor, you knew that, right? Can I request that the Bears have just one quarterback that can throw the ball? I really like Sawyer Robertson, man. I really do. And I think DeQuan Finn's probably a great kid too. But at some point, like the analyst in me, the analyst who is separate from Baylor and is just watching college football, 11 for 21. Oh, no. Hey, look, couple touchdown passes that were dimes, gems. Sawyer Robertson's every third pass, fourth pass. You're like, yeah. It's the other ones that aren't very good. 11 completions the whole game. And you really didn't establish the run game that well. 4 yards per carry, 41 carries to get to 166 yards. Robertson, your leading rusher, 82 yards on 9 carries. Dude's a stud. Dude's a stud on the ground. Can he throw the ball? Not that well. He hasn't shown it yet. Stud on the ground. Behind him, Dominic Richardson, Bryson Washington. Meh. Not great. Richard Reese. Remember that guy? First team all-freshman Big 12 or whatever they call that award. Dawson Pendergrass. You have 4 running backs that you go to. And Richard Reese was supposed to be the guy. And it's like, oh, well, Jeff Grimes ruined him. Did Jake Spavital also ruin him? Baylor's leading receiver, 2 receptions, 43 yards. Like, where's the dog? Where's the dude? And in part, for the Bears to have 31 points, the special teams breakdowns for Colorado, the penalties for Colorado, the penalties for Baylor, too. This was a sloppy football game. And I'm going to go back to what I said last week. I thought Deion Sanders was kind of coaching for his job. He wouldn't have gotten fired after this. But if you lose to Baylor, it's like, okay. All right, you lost to the 3-9 Bears from last year. We got to do something here, man. You got to start winning games. For Dave Aranda, that's it. See ya. Smell ya. That's a nail in the coffin. Like, and for Mac Rhodes, somebody at some point in that athletic department, in that athletic department has to stand up and say, hey, you're the one that wanted the 3-9 guy back. You're the one that saw something. And now this? Oh, wow. Hail Mary situation. Colorado kid dropped a wide open one. Thank God. We're not going to let that happen again, are we? Yeah? We're going to send 5. And let's put all 5 of them on one side. So then Shadur Sanders can roll out, have plenty of time, throw it to the end zone, and there's a falling wide receiver. A falling wide receiver in kind of double coverage. There are 2 Baylor players in the vicinity who's just going to lean back and catch that sucker. Touchdown, Buffs. How? What gross incompetence. You as a defense, like Dave Aranda's calling the defense. And I was like, yeah, I got a plan. I have concepts of a plan. I'm going to tweet that. I have concepts of a plan is what Dave Aranda went with at the end of that game. Your offensive coordinator, Jake Spavital, like the touchdown drives were good. That goes on without saying, but there was so much bad. 3 and out, 4 and out, and punt. And here you go, Colorado, have the ball. We're just going to give you guys the ball. You can have it. Colorado's defense impressed me. Colorado's grit impressed me. Colorado's ability to win a close game against a Baylor team that wants you to think it's the most disciplined team in the country. You doing that went a long way in my book, and I now believe the Buffs are a player. They're a dangerous player in the Big 12. They could be a top half of the Big 12, top half team in the Big 12. You go on the road to UCF, that's hard. But if you win that one, facing Kansas State at home, and we just saw the holes that Kansas State may have. Many are saying the Buffs might be in business. Could be you. Coming up tomorrow, I'm going to do the Locked On Big 12 Power Rankings. And they are going to be something. Oh, man, I'm kind of excited about that. I am. I do get excited for those shows. I put a lot of preparation in this stuff sometimes. All the, clickbait. You don't know what you're talking about. It's all talk. I'm just here to do my job. I'm just here to talk about Big 12 sports. That's what I'm going to do tomorrow. Give you your power rankings and more. I'm probably going to this is me talking to you as friends. I'm going to upload the power rankings as their own 10-minute video. And then past that, I'm going to a concert tomorrow night. So I'm kind of like double recording a little bit. So the power rankings will go out and the rest of that show will drop on Tuesday. I'm not going to sleep in the next 72. I already haven't slept in a long. We just did with the Savannah Bananas. We played Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, home of the Phillies, 45,000 folks. And then I watched the BYU and Kansas State game. I was like, oh, I haven't slept ever. And then I have an early flight and you know how it goes. But I'm 23. I'm drinking 5-hour energy, so I'm going to be okay. This has been and always will be Locked On. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. Dose Grande.